this video, we will discuss about C tokens. Now, C tokens are the smallest individual unit of a program. These tokens are divided into basic categories such as identifiers, keywords, constants, and operators. So, these are the tokens. Now, first, we will see about identifiers. Identifiers are the names we give for the variables and the functions. Therefore, the identifiers are the user defined names, and when we give the user defined names, we have to follow certain rules. Now, we will see the rules for identifiers. The first rule for identifiers: the name consists of alphabetic characters, digits, and underscore. This is a single special symbol which we can use in identifiers. Now, the second rule: the first letter or the character in the name cannot start with a digit. So this is the second rule. Now the third rule: the uppercase and lowercase letters are different. Next rule: we cannot use keywords as identifiers. The next rule: the white spaces and special symbols except underscore are not allowed in an identifier. And the last rule: C recognizes only the first 31 characters. So these are some of the rules for identifiers. That the rules are: the name consists of alphabets, digits, and underscore. Second rule: the first letter in the name cannot start with a digit. It can be an alphabet or it can be an underscore, but it should not start with a digit. So uppercase and lowercase letters are different. We cannot use keywords as identifiers. White spaces and special symbols are not allowed in an identifier except underscore. And C recognizes only the first 31 characters. Now here we will see the examples of valid variable names and invalid variable names. Now, according to our second rule, that first letter in the name cannot start with a digit. Now, if our example is 126 East, 126 East. If this is our example, then this will be an invalid variable name because it starts with 1. Now if I write here 1 num, now again it starts with 1. So therefore this is invalid variable name. Now the third rule is uppercase and lowercase letters are different. It means if I write num and this in small case it is num. So these two are different identifiers. These two are different identifiers. Now if we now the next rule is we cannot use keywords as identifiers. If we write the variable as if is our variable, then this will be the invalid variable name because if is a keyword, and if it is a keyword we cannot use the keywords as identifiers. Now the next variable example is plus more. Now plus more it is a variable name. Now it is an invalid variable name. Why? Because the white space and the special symbols are not allowed in an identifier. Here only the underscore is allowed in a variable name, but here whatever the variable we have given, so this is a plus sign. This is a plus sign, so that's why we cannot use this plus sign in variable name. So therefore this is invalid variable name. Now the next variable is first number. If first number is our variable, now this first number variable consists of a space. So that's why again according to the rule 5th, this is an invalid variable name. Now the next variable is num factorial 2. Num this exclamatory mark 2. If num and exclamatory mark 2, this is an invalid variable name. So this is an invalid variable name. Now the valid variable names. In this, if we write n is a valid variable name. Now if we write underscore id, this is a valid variable name because our first character can be a letter or it can be an underscore. So this is a valid variable name. Next, if I would like to write num1, then this num1 is a valid variable name because it starts with n and it follows all the rules which are given above. Now, if my variable is a first underscore number, a underscore first underscore number, a first number, so this is a valid variable name because here the space is not given. So that's why this is a valid variable name. Now if I write x, capital X, then this is also a valid variable name. Sum of two number. Sum of two number. Now sum of two underscore number, if this is our variable, then again this is a valid variable name. So these are the some of the examples which shows the valid variable names and invalid variable names, or we can say that these are the valid identifiers and these are the invalid identifiers. Now we will see the next token, that is keywords. So in keywords in C language, there are certain reserved characters are there, and that certain reserved characters are called keywords. And these reserved characters have standard and predefined meanings. So they cannot be used as an identifier. For example, if is a keyword, while is a keyword, int, struct, char, float, do, switch, break, continue. So all these are the keywords. So all these are the examples of keywords. In this way, in C language, there are total 32 keywords are there, and that are the reserved words. We cannot use that reserved words as a identifier. Now, the next token is constant. Now, constant, it provide a way to define a variable which cannot be modified during the execution of the program. So constant provide a way to define a variable which cannot be modified during the execution of the program. In other words, we can say that these constants are the fixed values that we do not change during the execution of the program. So this is the constants. Now in constants, there are different types of constants are there. Like we have integer constants. Now when we say that we have integer constants, so examples are like 0, 37, the next examples is 2020. So these are the examples of integer constants. Now the floating constants or the real constants. So these floating constants are which contain a decimal point in a number. For example, 0.8. So this is a floating constant because it contains a decimal point in a number. Now another example for this, it is 199.33, or we can say that 3.14. These are the examples of floating constants. Now this is the floating constants. Now the next constant is character constant. Character constants. These character constants are enclosed in a single quotes. So here A is a character constant. Now next is 5 is a character constant. Now plus is a character constant. It means the character constant can be a single letter, a single digit, or a single special symbol. These should be enclosed in a single quotes. So this will be a character constant. Now the next is a string constant. In string constant, whatever the constants are there, for example A is here, now it should be enclosed in double quotes. So here this A is a string constant, this A is character constant, because this is enclosed in single quotes and this A is enclosed in double quotes, so that's why this is string constant. Now in the same way, if it is a string constant, it means we can collect a number of characters in a double quotes. So here we write Monday in double quotes. So this is a string constant. Now again, I would like to tell you that this 5 is present here, which is enclosed in single quotes. So therefore this is a character constant. Now if I write 5, if I write 5, then 5 is an integer constant. Why? Because this 5, it is not enclosed in single quotes. So this is the difference, that this 5 is an integer constant, this 5 is character constant, because this 5 it is enclosed in single quotes. So here the integer and floating point constants, it represents the numbers, and therefore this is called as numeric constants. So this both called as numeric constant. Now the next token is operators. Now in this, C includes a large number of operators which fall into different categories, and these categories are arithmetic operators, the relational operators, logical operators, assignment operator, unary operators, conditional operator, and last one is bitwise operators. So all these are the different types of operators. Now we will see these operators one by one. Now initially we start with arithmetic operators. Now first is arithmetic operator. Now the first arithmetic operator is plus sign, that is used for the addition. Now if we write here a plus b, then this a plus b is, we consider that the value of a is 5 and the value of b is 16. Now a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 16. So in that case, a plus b, it will be 21. Now in floating point examples, we consider that for floating point examples, that c is equal to 3.0 and d is equal to 7.5. C is equal to 3.0 and D is equal to 7.5. So now example is C plus D is. So C plus D is, so combination addition of these two, so it will be 10.5. Now the next arithmetic operator is subtraction, that is minus sign, and it is used for the subtraction. So A minus B, it will be 5 minus 16, it will be minus 11. And if we write b minus a, it means 16 minus 5, it will be plus 11. So it will be 11. Now the next, now c minus d is. So c minus d, it means 3 minus 7.5, it will be minus 4.5. And if we write d minus c, it is 7.5 minus 3.0, it is 4.5. Now the next arithmetic operator is multiplication. Then this multiplication, it means a into b or b into a, it gives same. So here I write b into a is, so it is 16 into 5, it is 80. And here we write c into d, it is 22.5. Now the next is division. Here, if we write A divided by B, then it will be A divided by B, that is 5 divided by 16. Its quotient will be 0. So that's why here we write it as 0. Now if we write B divided by A, it means 16 divided by 5. Its quotient will be 3. It means 5 3s are 15. So that's why its quotient will be 3. Now in the same way, here we can write that C divided by D is, so C divided by D, it means 3.0 divided by 7.5, it will be 0.4. And if we write D divided by C, it means 7.5 divided by 3.0, so it will be 2.5. Now the next is, that is modulus operator. This modulus operator, it is used to give the remainder. Now if I want to represent that A mod B, then it will be 5 divided by 16, then its remainder will be 5. So that's why here it is 5. And if we write B mod A, then it will be B mod A, it means 16 divided by 5, then its remainder is 1. So that's why its output is 1. Then this modulo operator, it is not used in floating point. So that's why here we can't give the example. Now the relational operators. These relational operators are used in C language to compare values, typically in conditionally controlled statements. Now here we will see the relational operators, the expression, it means the example, the interpretation, it means when we use the relational operator, its answer or its output will be either true or it will false. So that we will write here, and that true value gives the true interpretation has the value 1, and when it is false its value is 0. So that we will write it here. Now this relational operators, in this relational operators, our first relational operator is less than sign. Now this less than sign, we consider some of the declarations are there, that consider that int I is equal to 3, j is equal to 7, and float f is equal to 5.5 and g is equal to 4.5. So these are some of the variables we will use here. Now in expression we will see that I is less than 4. So what is the value of I? It is 3. So 3 is less than 4, condition true. So that's why here the interpretation is true and the true has value 1. Now this is the less than sign. The next relational operator is less than or equal to. Now I plus j is less than equal to 10. Now I plus j, it is 3 plus 7, it is 10. So 10 is equal to 10. So therefore condition is true and its value is 1. Now in the same way, for this less than equal to, we will see the another example, that f is less than equal to g. So what is f? It is 5.5. 5.5 is less than 4.5. So here this condition is false. So therefore its value is 0. Now the next relational operator is greater than. Now we write the example or the expression that f is greater than g. So f is 5.5. 5.5 is greater than 4.5. So condition is true. So condition is true, so its value is 1. Now the next relational operator is greater than or equal to. Now the expression is j into I is greater than equal to 22. Now j into I, so what value of j is 7 into 3, it will be 21. So 21 is greater than equal to 22. So this condition will be false. So its value is 0. Now the next relational operator is, so all these are the relational operators. The next two are equality operators, and these equality operators are equal to. For this we can take an example with same declarations are there, that I is equal to 3, j is equal to 7, f is equal to 5.5 and g is equal to 4.5. So now we take an example for this equal to equality operator. Now the f minus g is equal to 1.0. So now f is 5.5 minus 4.5. So answer is 1.0. So it is equal to 1.0. So its interpretation is true and its value is 1. Now the second equality operator is not equal to. So this not equal to, for this we have an expression that j is less than I not equal to 2. Now j divided by I, that is 7 divided by 3. So it will be, its answer is 2. So 2 is not equal to 2. So this condition will be false. So therefore its value will be 0. So these 4 are relational operators and these 2 are equality operators. Now after this we will see about the logical operators. Now the next operator is logical operator. In this logical operator there are 3 logical operators, that not operator, logical and operator and logical or operator. Now to see all these operators, these 3 logical operators, we will consider that we have the declarations that int I is equal to 3 and j is equal to 7. With this we have the float f is equal to 5.5 and g is equal to 4.5. Then we have a character variable, that character variable ch is equal to capital T. So all these declarations are there. Now the first operator is the not operator. The first operator is not operator, and this not operator, it is a unary operator. This not operator, it is a unary operator. It means this operator acts upon a single operand, so that's why it is called as unary operator. So this unary operator, it changes a true value to false and a false value to true. Now we will see the example, that example is not f is greater than 5.0. Now the value of f is 5.5. 5.5 is greater than 5.0. So this condition is true, but here the not operator is given. Therefore this true condition changes to false. So finally its value is false, and false has the value 0. So this is a not operator. Now we will see the logical AND operator. So this is a logical AND operator. This AND operator is a binary operator. Logical AND operator is a binary operator. Its result is true only when both operands are true. Otherwise it is false. Now we will see one of the example that I is less than equal to 5 and ch is equal to t in single quotes. So I is less than equal to 5. I is less than equal to 5 and ch is equal to t. So the value of I is 3. 3 is less than equal to 5. So condition is true and ch is equal to t. So ch is equal to t. So this t is equal to t. So therefore both operands are true. So therefore its interpretation is true and its value is 1. So this is logical AND operator. Now we will see the another next operator and that is OR operator. So this OR operator, logical OR operator, is represented like this. So this is logical OR operator. It is also a binary operator. Its result false. Its result is false only when both operands are false. Otherwise it is true. Now we will see the example. The example is j is less than 8 or ch is equal to L. Now let's see in this example that j is less than 8. Now 7 is less than 8. So condition true, that is 7 is less than 8. So condition true. Now ch is equal to L. So this condition is false. So any one of the condition is false. So therefore here it is true. When both operands are false, then its result will be false. But here one operand is false and one operand is true. So therefore its value is, its interpretation is true. Now its interpretation is true and so therefore its value is 1. Now again we will see one of the example for this logical OR, that is this f plus g is equal to 10.0 or I is less than 2. Now f plus g